What up, y'all? We're going to start off today's cast with a quote from Andre 3000. Andre 3000 said, "Nobody wanted to dance when I had a lot of time on my hands. But now I got a lot of hands on my time, and everybody wants to be a friend of mine."
Fuck your ethnicity. You understand that? We're gonna talk about a lot of shit that concerns you.
Everybody throw your hands
Only you.
up high. If you don't give a fuck, throw your hands up high. Throw your hands up
Now I don't give a fuck if you black, white, Asian, Hispanic, goddammit, that don't mean shit to me. Fuck your ethnicity, nigga. Fire burning.
What up, though? 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 What's good? It's MickChuck1212. This is the 2020 Vision Podcast. Here to give it to you, raw and uncut, real like how we do. You know what I mean? First of all, I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about. I just want to say that, like, get the hell off the Cowboys' backs. Like, chill out. They had a heck of a season. They had a rookie quarterback, Dak Prescott from Mississippi State. I gotta admit, I've been intrigued by Dak Prescott, watching him play football since his junior year. Mississippi State Bulldogs, huge underdog in this game, going to a night game in LSU in Death Valley. He is walking around in pregame telling his teammates, "Hey, these motherfuckers scared. We gonna win this game." Like, straight up, like, he is really looking at them like, "Yo, we can do this." Went into that thing and they beat the brakes off LSU. Mississippi State, now, if you know anything about football, you know anything about the SEC, you know, Mississippi State's not one of those teams that you really worry about like that. Dak Prescott is one of the players that really made Mississippi State a team that you worry about, that you got to be like, "Oh, snap. That's the Bulldogs coming." You know what I'm saying? And he did that this year for Dallas as well. He was one of the main players that, that put them, right there where they needed to be. So, Dallas Cowboys got a lot to look forward to. There's nothing to be upset about. Like, your window was not 2 hours open, you know what I'm saying, for the Super Bowl. It's probably about 4 or 5 years open right now. You got a young quarterback. You got a young running back. Those two dudes are going to be great. Dez Bryant's already great. You got a great line. All you got to do is replace Doug Free. But off that, give the Cowboys some respect. They had a heck of a season. Hopefully, if Jerry Jones loves Tony Romo like he says he does, he won't trade him. He'll just give him an outright release and let him go to whatever team he wants to. But anyway, I posted not a picture. I posted a status, a comment, status, whatever you want to call it, on Facebook, probably like at the beginning of the last week. And I basically just asked the question, neck tattoo or hand tattoo? I got a great deal of responses from it. It was really funny to look at it to me, because I knew what my intentions were. Nobody else did. So people were just, responding, just to, they were actually trying to give me advice on, where I should get this tattoo. So, and I appreciate, a lot of the people who came through, like, you should do this, you should do that, trying to genuinely help me out. I had a few coworkers, a few old supervisors rather, that actually jumped on and gave some opinions and whatnot. And I really appreciated it. But I asked that question because, I'm looking at it right now. It was on January 11th. It got 54 comments. I asked that question because I think that in today's society, as it relates to corporate America, as far as I've seen at least, tattoos are so much more accepted than they once were. I can remember a time, probably, 6 or 7 years ago, where I didn't really want to get a tattoo like that because of how I felt people would look at me, and it's funny because I look back at my younger brother. My younger brother's always had a tattoo, a very visible tattoo on his forearm. Excuse me, I'm sorry about the sniffing and coughing, y'all. It's early morning. Give me a break. But he's always had, some sort of visible tattoo on his forearm. And I got my first tattoo when I was 28. It was not visible. It was on my shoulder, and I loved it. But from that point on, I always wanted something that you could see. I want, like, damn, this looks good. I want other people to be able to see how good it looks or how good I feel about it. You know what I mean? And so I moved into, like, probably 3-4 years ago. I started working in an arena where I had the opportunity to be a little bit more liberal about things like that, tattoos, the way I dress. You know what I'm saying? So I chose to do so. I started, like, at first, the way this whole tattoo thing all started for me, I was just gonna go, like, half sleeve, in the opposite direction that I am now, not forearm to wrist, but from shoulder to elbow, down to my elbow. But it actually turns out that now I am elbow to wrist on my left and right arm right now, and I'm working on going the other direction, having the rest of the sleeve covered. But I started working in customer service, in an area where customers do not see you; they speak to you over the phone. And as some of you can tell, as some of you already know, I speak fairly proper. I cuss a lot and I use slang when it's appropriate, but for the most part, I use proper English. So, and I like to think I communicate very well. So, it was easier for me to do that because it didn't matter. It didn't really matter how you looked. It matters. Your communication skills is what matters there. So, but then shortly after doing that for a while, I decided I wanted to be customer facing, and I moved into to retail. I moved into a retail store where people could see me face to face, and they could see my body parts, and they could see everything about me. And I still, I get, as far as the customers are concerned, it is what it is. But from the employer is who I want to focus on. From management and people who I work with, I think that it's safe to say that we, as a workforce, don't really look at each other that way. Like, we don't, like, we just, it is what it is. Oh, he's tatted up. He knows a lot, though. You know what I'm saying? I think that that's the idea that people get about me, is that I'm pretty good at what I do. So the rest of that don't matter. You know what I mean? But yeah, I have I have like 13 or 14 tattoos now. I went from not having any tattoos up until I was 28, and I only had one then. I got one when I was 28. I got three other tattoos when I turned 31. And then I decided, shortly after that, I decided, like, you know what? Like, I'm a grown man. My mom doesn't care about, me having tattoos on my forearms and having visible tattoos. She likes it. She thinks that it looks nice on me. My dad doesn't care. He thinks it looks cool. He wants to get a tattoo. You know what? Let's go ahead and ride this thing out. Let's see what's popping. You know what I'm saying? If it comes to a point where I get older and I gotta, maintain my skin better, and I gotta lift weights to keep making them look good, that's what I'll do. You know what I'm saying? But I just decided, like, yeah, I'm gonna put something on these forearms. I'm gonna put something all the way up my arms, and I'm gonna let it be visible so people can see it. Whether I'm wearing, a shirt and tie, if I got my sleeves rolled a little bit, whether I have on a polo shirt at work, people can see these tattoos. Whether I have on a half zip T-shirt, whatever, you can see these, and I'm very proud of them. Each one of them represents some important transition or time in my life, so I'm very proud of them. And I decided that I get tattoos because I want people to see them on some level. These are tattoos that also can be covered, but I do want people to see them. The neck and hand thing, I will admit that I am very, very intrigued by neck and hand tattoos. The neck and hand tattoos, especially the hand tattoo, it almost fits the body as if it were an accessory. You know what I mean? I like them. I like them a lot. Only thing is, my skin is kind of weird. I don't know how it'll hold up on my hand, for one. Two, I still work in corporate America. I think putting one on my hand or neck would be going too far. I just asked the question to stir the pot a little bit to see what other people thought about it, and to give my opinions as to how I think about it. Like I said, as far as the tattoo thing is concerned, I know some very, very successful people who have an overabundance of tattoos like myself. So the difference in getting a job and keeping the job, or even being considered for one, I don't think it's a tattoo anymore. So I think it's more about, the tattoo thing so the tattoo thing doesn't affect it, but I was about to say something that is totally not true because I'm black. So, and I think y'all know where I'm going. So let me chill out on that. But yeah, I think we've moved into a better part of, it's a better evolution, if you will, of American society where things like that are accepted, and I think that's good. I think if we could keep moving, in a better direction with other things like race and sexual preference, religion, if we could move in a better direction with those sorts of things, we'd be well on our way to being great again. Shout out to Donald Trump for wanting to make America great again. Side note. I saw a picture on Instagram from. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Please excuse the sniffing. I saw a picture on Instagram from a friend, a person I consider to be a friend, and the picture said, "We can't control." It was something along the lines of this: "We can't control the fact that he's president now, but we can pray for him, and we can come together and try to help him make America great again." This person was a white American, and this person also has a very high level of interaction with black Americans. She's a white American. She has a high level of interaction with black Americans. She's dated, slept with, befriended, friends with. She's friends with me. She's friends with a few people. You know what I mean? Whatever, however you want to call it. She's not a person that you would consider to be, you know what I mean, a racist or something like that. Even though I sound like what we hate. Well, I got black friends. I got plenty of black friends. So I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you that this is a person that I've known for some time now. I've never gotten a racial indication from this person. She seems to be good people. But at the same time, I can't help but always have some inkling of something in the back of my head for people, period. Not just white, black Americans, Latino Americans, anything. I can't help but have some sort of little dot in the back of my head to let me know that person voted for Donald Trump, though. You know what I'm saying? I can't help that. And I'm not saying this because I'm